Are you one of those people who suffer from electromagnetic hypersensitivity, fatigue, tiredness, stress, brain fog, aches, and pains? What if I told you that you can soak your way into serenity? Soak in Serenity, our new herbal bath formula, is known to soothe anxiety, relieve stress and fatigue in just one bath. Visit our store at blacksunrise.com/herbs-page. Remember to spell sunrise SONRISE. Black Sunrise, waking the masses off their asses. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Black Sunrise. BlackSunrise.com for the latest global Black news. Black Sunrise News on YouTube for the latest Black news commentary. Black Sunrise on YouTube for the latest live streaming, and anchor.fm/Black Sunrise for our latest podcast where we discuss everything Black. Welcome to Global Black News. For all your latest Black news from around the globe, remember to subscribe to Black Sunrise News on YouTube. In today's featured article, we look at Papua New Guinea is set for an e-government revolution. You can read the article at blacksunrise.com. The first phase of Papua New Guinea's government new state in a phone project aims to give citizens access to an online government information portal before the end of the year. There will also be benefits for business as well. Those of you who are looking to do business with Papua New Guinea, this should make life doing business much easier. And in African American news, awareness of a different mindset to improve the lives of African American men in the U.S. An Ypsilanti Township event intended to help African American men feel comfortable with their emotions and communication has become more popular than expected. WEMU, W-E-M-U, Lisa Barry's talk with Nate Frazier and Keon Purite in a conversation that touches on many important topics, including how emotions impact your overall life experience and what that life experience is like for a Black man in 2020. Nate Frazier and Keon Purite believe when you hold your emotions inside, it leads to other things like violence, abuse, mental anguish, and other things. They host a podcast to address issues along those lines, hoping to make a difference in the lives of African American men. They say who is taught to keep their emotions inside. They plan to sit down with people and be open and honest and transparent with each other and deal with emotions at their upcoming community summit. Frazier and Purite say they want to share a different perspective and outlook and to tell people what you've been through and the way you look at your life and find yourself is the key to success of having a great life. Frazier says what you think and how you feel affect your emotions and impact how you look at life and how you live day to day. I think that this is actually a great program. And those of you who want to listen to their podcast, I think you should definitely do it, because in today's society, for some reason, these abusers at the top, they feel like they can create laws to abuse Black people. And then when Black people are like, listen, you're abusing me. Listen, this is racist. Listen, you can't do this. Don't do this. They're literally saying this is hate speech. And I'm like, How is it hate speech when you're abusing someone? Like, when you abuse someone, they're going to cry out. Stop abusing people from the top. All right, so you can read that article as well on Black Sunrise. Black Sunrise, waking the masses off their asses. And in today's African news, Lesotho's first lady to appear in court for murder. Lord have mercy. Scandal in Parliament. Lesotho's first lady, Messiah Taban, will appear in court on Wednesday on charges of murder and attempted murder related to the assassination of her husband's first wife, Dipolelo Taban. The First Lady spent the night behind bars after handing herself over to police earlier. She was earlier reported to be on the run when an arrest warrant was issued against her. Lord, scandal in Parliament. The first wife was shot dead 2 days before the inauguration of Prime Minister Tom Taban in 2017. The person who was with the first wife during her assassination was also wounded. Lesotho's Deputy National Police Commissioner Paseka Mokete says he believes that they have a watertight case against the First Lady. Mokete says, "We still maintain that we've got a very strong case against perpetrators in this case, and we believe that when evidence is presented before the court of law, all of those suspects are going to be convicted." The First Lady Messiah Taban is facing 2 charges. Count 1 is murder of Madame Dipolelo and count 2 is attempted murder of another person who was with Madame Dipolelo at the time of her murder. Here's the issue. Men, you know you can't handle one woman, and you men know how jealous and possessive women are. Why, for the love of God, do you have more than one wife? Ooh, I'm going to hear it. I'm going to hear it for the polygamists and the polyandrists. I'm going to say this again, men. Yes, I know a woman's body is different from a man's body. There are times that women go through when they just can't have sex. Okay? But you could come to an agreement with your wife when you reach that bridge. But marrying a second wife, okay? Some things we do traditionally may be tradition, but they may not necessarily be a good idea. If you understand how jealous and possessive and catty and vicious, especially around their menstrual cycle, women can be, you men would think twice about marrying a second woman. And half of you can't even control marrying one woman, much less 2. He's lucky she didn't kill him. Scandal in Parliament. Black Sunrise, waking the masses off their asses. All right. So now on to Aboriginal Australia. You can find the article at blacksunrise.com, Why Missing Persons Mysteries Are Proving Hard to Solve in Northern Australia. Oh, I'll tell you why. Okay, so a broom man tells his priests he's scared for his safety and vanishes within hours. They're among the intriguing cases dug up from the depths of WA police missing persons files and examined afresh in a series of inquests held in the far north of the state this week. In 3 days of hearings at Broome Courthouse, Coroner Evelyn Vicker has heard evidence relating to the suspected deaths of 9 people, all men who vanished from the remote Kimberley region in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Oh, I'll tell you where they're going, all right. The hearings have exposed the particular challenges of solving long-term missing persons cases in the outback of Australia, where many local Aboriginal people believe strongly that spirits and witch doctors can cause a person's death and speak about payback killings in hushed tones. Although I think that might be true, I'm going to tell you where I'm leaning with this. Miss Jimbidi heard 2 hours of evidence in the Broome courthouse about the day her beloved stepfather went missing in December 1988. We've been waiting 31 years to get some answers, so it's good to finally hear the police report read out aloud. The day he went missing, he was going into the bush in his shorts and thongs, and he had a small axe and he was going hunting like he always does, looking for guana. When my mom found out he was missing, she was hitting herself with a rock and crying. It had a big effect on her and us because he was the backbone of our family. For the Aboriginal people in Australia, you going missing has been the last 200 years. Okay? Like the native children in Canada who still today go missing. Like the native children in Alaska who still today go missing. Like the indigenous people in the Americas who still to this day go missing. The people who are abducting the Aboriginal people. Yes, there are witches. Yes, it's payback, but it's cults doing it. And you want to look into Fiona Barnett. Okay, listen to the testimonies of Fiona Barnett. And in one of those testimonies, she said that one of these crackhead psychiatrists were involved in abducting people across Australia and doing heinous experiments on them. When you listen to indigenous people, in particular in America, they say still to this day, there are these cults that abduct indigenous children. They're still doing it in Alaska. They're still doing it in Canada. They're still doing it in the Americas. They are still abducting indigenous people. And they're going missing. So you may want to look into these death cults that are abducting people, killing them, cooking them, and eating them. Sorry to break the news to you, but this is where those missing people are going. Black Sunrise, waking the masses off their asses.